Okay, so the question was regarding Myles Garrett. Will Myles Garrett beat his sack record and challenge for NFL Defensive Player of the Year? So I guess we should pay this off and answer this question. I mean, Mary Kay is this the year for Myles finally?
Well, I certainly think he's going to make a strong case for both things. I think he's got an opportunity to top 16. Of course, there's 17 games now, so you're really just averaging one sack a game to do that. I think he should be able to do that. And if he gets the 20 plus that he's capable of, then certainly that gets you in that conversation at the end of the season for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to have challengers. I mean, we know, the TJ Watts and the Bosas and all those guys that are out there. But I certainly think that Myles will be right in the thick of it this year.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has just been waiting, for Myles to like not just in Cleveland, but just nationally for like Myles to have that year where it's like, yes, this is the guy. He's obviously always been a PFF favorite. Obviously in Cleveland, fans want him to get that award. It just hasn't happened for him. But Ashley, it feels like kind of with this team, it sort of feels like the way with this team is as a whole. Like there is a chance that everything can kind of come together this year. And it feels that way for Myles too. It feels like everything is right there for him to finally kind of reach that ceiling.
Yeah, I was going to say my answer to this question is yes, but essentially, because I think there are certain things that Myles can do to like obviously make the case for himself, but there are things that I think he has no control over that have hurt him, I think, in the past, especially this past year. And that is if this team doesn't come together and if they are kind of hanging around 500 again and people nationally aren't really paying attention to them, and that kind of becomes easier because of the Deshaun Watson situation, that it gives them a reason to not be paying attention to the Browns on a national level, and therefore what Myles is doing week to week isn't really being seen by as many people, and it just automatically kind of knocks him out of the race for that. So I think he obviously has to up his numbers a little bit, up his sack production, get some help. But also, they have to win some football games so that people are actually watching him do those things.
And sometimes I mean, as silly as this sounds, sometimes you just got to have the right Twitter highlights at the right time too to go with all of that. So like get your 20 sacks and be on a good team, and then also have like 5 moments during the season where it's like all of NFL Twitter is like, oh my God, I can't believe Myles Garrett did that. I mean, I think TJ Watt has done a lot of that. Aaron Donald has, we've seen that. So if you can just have like 4 or 5 of those moments to go on top of a really great season, that's sort of where that hype starts to build. Um, that's how we consume football. we're very simple people when it comes to voting for these awards. But anyway, Myles is poised certainly for a breakout year as we continue our 23 questions series. Again, you can see all these at cleveland.com/Browns, which is also where you can become a Football Insider subscriber. Click the blue banner at the top of the page to get info on that. Get subscribed to this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and also go on YouTube, search Cleveland Browns on cleveland.com, and get subscribed to our YouTube channel as well. For Mary Kay and Ashley, I'm Dan. Thanks for listening, everybody.